There was a time when Christy McNichol wasn't just a name in Hollywood. She was a heartbeat. Her face graced magazine covers. Her laugh filled TV screens. And her emotional depth made audiences across America fall in love with her. She wasn't just another teenage actress. She was the teenage actress. The girl who could make you cry, smile, and feel something real. But then, almost as quickly as she rose, she disappeared. No scandals, no big farewell tour, just silence. For decades, people wondered, what happened to Christy McNichol? Why did she leave Hollywood at the height of her fame? Before we dive into her shocking exit from fame, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the Hush Buzz community for more emotional Hollywood stories just like this one. Every week, we reveal the truth behind the stars you thought you knew. Christy McNichol was born on September 11, 1962, in Los Angeles, California, a city built on glitz, dreams, and sometimes heartbreak. But her life started far from glamorous. Her father walked out when she was young, leaving her mother, Carolyn, to raise Christy and her older brother, Jimmy, alone. Carolyn did whatever it took to keep food on the table. She worked as a secretary, a makeup saleswoman, even as a film extra in low-budget productions. There was no time to chase dreams, only to survive. Yet destiny had other plans. One day, Carolyn took her kids to a film set because she couldn't afford a babysitter. A crew member noticed the children's natural charisma and suggested they try commercials. That single offhand comment changed everything. Christy and Jimmy began auditioning, and before long, both were landing jobs. Jimmy was easygoing and charming, the kind of boy next door everyone liked. But Christy had something more, a spark. She wasn't just cute. She was emotionally present in a way most adults couldn't fake. Even at 10 years old, she didn't just act, she felt. By the mid-1970s, Christy was already appearing on popular shows like Apple's Way and Starsky and Hutch. But in 1976, she landed the role that would define her, Letitia Buddy Lawrence on ABC's Drama Family. She was just 13, but her performance was stunning, raw, vulnerable, and wise beyond her years. The show tackled topics like divorce, adolescence, and identity, and Buddy became its emotional anchor. Critics were blown away. Christy earned 3 consecutive Emmy nominations and won twice. At only 15 and 17 years old, she was America's sweetheart, the girl everyone wanted to protect, yet the actress no one realized needed protecting herself. Behind the fame, her home life wasn't stable. Her mother managed her career but also depended heavily on her daughter's earnings. Christy later admitted she often felt like the adult of the house, while her mother was the child. That emotional burden left deep scars. Fame had made her family financially secure, but emotionally, it tore them apart. When family ended in 1980, Christy was just 18, yet she already carried the exhaustion of a lifetime. She'd been working nonstop since childhood, smiling through interviews, performing under pressure, never saying no. Hollywood didn't see her as a teen. They saw her as a machine that never broke down. So when offers came flooding in, Christy kept saying yes. That same year, she starred opposite Tatum O'Neal in Little Darlings. Little Darlings wasn't your typical teen movie. It explored the confusion and emotional intensity of growing up. Christy's portrayal of Angel Bright, a tough, street-smart girl hiding deep vulnerability, was mesmerizing. Critics praised her authenticity. Roger Ebert even wrote that her performance made audiences want to know what she'd do next. Suddenly, Christy wasn't just a child star, she was a cultural phenomenon. Every magazine wanted her on the cover, every director wanted her in their film. She was America's favorite rebel, confident, independent, yet achingly real. But fame, as always, comes with a price. That same year, she starred in The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia with Dennis Quaid and Mark Hamill, earning one of the highest salaries ever paid to a teenage actress. In 1981, she took on another emotional role in Neil Simon's Only When I Laugh, playing the daughter of a recovering alcoholic. The performance earned her a Golden Globe nomination. To the world, she seemed unstoppable. But inside, Christy was falling apart. She later admitted she didn't know how to say no. Not to her mother, not to producers, not to anyone. Hollywood trained her to please, and she was terrified of disappointing people. She'd wake up in one city, film all day, board a plane that night, and wake up somewhere else the next morning. The pressure never ended. Her body started to break down, but her spirit was the first to go. By 1982, the cracks became impossible to hide. Her next project, the pirate movie, flopped with critics, and for the first time, she felt the sting of failure. She was even nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actress, a cruel twist for someone once hailed as Hollywood's brightest young talent. But the problem wasn't the movie. It was what the industry had done to her. Years of stress, no rest, and no personal life left her fragile and hollow. In 1984, she took what seemed like the perfect role, Just the Way You Are. It was filmed in the French Alps, and her character, a musician learning self-acceptance despite a disability, mirrored Christy's own inner struggle. But filming was a nightmare. She suffered panic attacks, insomnia, and rapid weight loss. Friends noticed she was fading, not just physically, but emotionally. When she begged for help, her team told her to push through. "Don't worry, the sound," they said. "You'll get through it." But she didn't. When she returned home, she was unrecognizable, tired, fragile, broken. Doctors diagnosed her with exhaustion and anxiety, but it was far more serious. The tabloids mocked her, calling her unstable. The studio tried to spin her breakdown as a chemical imbalance. But behind those headlines was a woman trying to save herself. Christy later said, "It would have been easier to kick an addiction than go through the years of hell I did." She finished the film, and Just the Way You Are was released in 1984. Audiences saw a fragile beauty on screen, not realizing the pain behind her eyes was real. She tried to rebuild her career with Dream Lover, You Can't Hurry Love, and The Forgotten One. But her heart wasn't in it anymore. The bright young girl Hollywood adored was gone. What remained was a woman searching for peace. Behind closed doors, Christy battled depression and mood swings, symptoms later diagnosed as bipolar disorder. Her brother Jimmy became her anchor, moving in with her to cook, clean, and help her heal. He once said, "She wasn't just my sister, she was my kid, my best friend." For the first time, Christy wasn't taking care of others. Someone was taking care of her. By the mid-'80s, Christy had become a ghost in Hollywood. The fame that once defined her now haunted her. But in 1988, she was offered a second chance. The sitcom Empty Nest, a spin-off of The Golden Girls. The show gave her stability. She played Barbara Weston, a strong yet sensitive police officer, and fans loved her again. For a while, things looked bright, but the emotional waves returned. Insomnia, sadness, exhaustion. In 1992, she quietly walked away from Empty Nest. No announcement, no goodbye, just gone. Almost a decade later, in 2001, Christy revealed the truth. She had been battling manic depression, now known as bipolar disorder. She explained she hadn't spoken out earlier because it was deeply personal. But by sharing her truth, she broke barriers. Her bravery made others feel less alone. Christy showed the world that admitting you're struggling doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. She made a brief return for Empty Nest's finale in 1995, giving fans closure. After that, she stepped away from Hollywood entirely, lending her voice to animated projects but never returning to the screen. Christy had chosen peace over pressure. After leaving acting, she began teaching at a private school in Los Angeles. She told her students that acting wasn't about fame. It was about empathy, about truth. For the first time since childhood, she was doing something for herself. Her life slowed beautifully. She found peace in yoga, tennis, and her miniature dachshunds, Bikes. "They keep me grounded," she said. She donated to cancer and mental health charities and comforted others quietly, away from the cameras. When asked what she missed most about acting, she said it wasn't the fame, it was the people, the connection, the heart. Christy had finally found what Hollywood could never give her: peace of mind. In 2012, she revealed another truth. Mike, she was gay and had been happily living with her partner, Marty Allen, since the early 1990s. Her reason was simple: "I want to help others who feel different and support kids who are being bullied." It wasn't a stunt. It was honesty. Marty had been by her side through every storm, the breakdowns, the healing, and the rebuilding. Together, they built a quiet home filled with love, laughter, and dogs. After decades of chaos, Christy finally had peace. Today, at 62, Christy McNichol still lives in Los Angeles, teaching, mentoring, and occasionally meeting fans. Her net worth, around 7 to 8 million, comes from royalties, but money has never defined her. What defines her now is resilience, honesty, and survival. She once said, "I was on the big stage between ages 8 and 30. I left show business to play my biggest part, myself." That one sentence says it all. She didn't fade away because she failed. She walked away because she wanted to live. Christy's story is one of quiet courage. The courage to step away when the world wants you to stay, to admit you're not okay in a world obsessed with perfection, and to finally choose peace over performance. Her legacy endures in every young actor who chooses truth over fame. Christy McNichol reminds us that sometimes. Walking away isn't giving up, it's growing up. Because sometimes, the greatest role you can ever play is yourself. If Christy McNichol's story moved you, make sure to like this video, share it, and subscribe to Hush Buzz for more true Hollywood stories about stars who traded the spotlight for peace.